recorded from a secret location in the city that moves mountains. Greetings.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
There you go. There you go. How's it going today, Dirty Dan?
Oh, it's going. I'm glad I didn't read what was written down from you.
Yes, I am too. Of course, it's actually, yeah, dude. I just realized that. I just realized that. See. Usually, I will repurpose our format that we go by. So, and change some segments and stuff around. But I am glad you caught that, and you still said it correctly. Good job, my friend. Good job. How's your day going today?
It's going. It's like 1,000,000 degrees here.
Yeah, it's about the same back here. AC feels really good.
Must be nice.
Standing out on the showroom where the ovens are at. That's not very nice. That's actually really, really hot.
Yeah, being out in the barbecue pit all day, it's pretty hot.
Yes, it is. Before we get started with listener email, coming up on the September 5th episode of the podcast, we'll be doing a roundtable.
Yes.
Confirmed as of now is you, me, Rebecca, Justin Perkins of Talk Junkie, and maybe somebody else that we just had an interview with. If we can get it worked out, if not, as long as we have DJ back on another time, I'll be really happy.
That would be interesting.
But people that listen to the show, if you have any topics that you want us to discuss, all you have to do is email myself or Dirty Dan. Goose at HereToChewBubblegum.com, Dirty Dan at HereToChewBubblegum.com, and let us know what topics you want us to talk about on the Roundtable Show. Every topic that we discuss will be a listener-requested topic.
Ooh.
What do you think about that?
I'm digging it.
Oh, yes. I want to say hello and give a shout-out and plug to Cronkite from Paranormal Trucker. His latest episode...
the man formerly known as Cronkite.
Yes. Well, I think he may. I don't know what he's going by now, but
the Paranormal Trucker.
Yes,
he said, I am formerly known as Cronkite.
Okay. Well, Paranormal Trucker. He gave us a huge shout out on his last podcast episode, number 3, talking about encouraging people to check out episode 43, which was our second part with DJ Nikki, the representative from Ingersoll Lockwood. So thank you very much.
42. Obviously, is the first part.
Yes. Great episode. Tons of downloads. You want to get us some listener email?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll start out this week if you don't care.
Go for it.
Believer writes, "Hello, Goose and Dirty Dan. I recently did an online hypnosis session for forgotten memories. I didn't know what to expect, but what I saw shocked me. I saw Walt Disney. He was at a table with what looked like a model of the 1964 World's Fair. So weird. I kind of got emotional. So strange. If you ever get a chance to do this, I highly recommend it, Roswell." Thank you very much, Believer, for writing in. Have you ever been to a hypnosis in person or online?
No.
Me neither.
I don't know how I feel about it.
Would you?
Maybe. I've thought about it a couple times, but I don't know quite how I feel about it.
I don't think I would do it in person because they might have me up in front of a bunch of people bouncing around like a chicken, so I probably wouldn't do that.
See, if anything, I probably would do it in person over online just because of that.
Okay. All right.
We got Shane writing in. Says, "Hey, Dirty Dan. My question isn't show related, but I was wondering what's your favorite barbecue recipe? Thanks for reading my email and welcome to Here to Chew Bubblegum." Well, Shane, when you say barbecue, you got to be a little more specific. Are you talking sauce? Are you talking dry rub? Are you talking meat combination? What do you want? I myself will always prefer a good dry rub brisket.
Well, that sounds very tasty. What about sauce? What's your favorite sauce? Do you make your own sauce?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I tend to like spicier stuff.
Is it a secret recipe?
I mean,
Oh,
it's
kind
not,
of,
it's
kind
not
of.
published, so
I can tell by the look in your eye. You are not going to reveal what you put in your barbecue sauce.
I can reveal the generic stuff, but you know, there's just certain amounts of certain things that a man can't talk about. It's sacrilegious.
There you go. There you go. Benjamin says, "Hey guys, I hope that you're. I hope that you are." He's actually said dinner, but I think he means doing. I hope that you're doing good. What have you guys been up to this summer outside of the show? You want to take that one first?
Working at the barbecue pit.
I've been working at the cookie factory. I did have a vacation back the 1st of July. Went to Florida, which I love Florida. I used to want to relocate there. The older I get, no.
What's wrong with you?
No, I don't want to relocate there anymore. But that's pretty much it. We've been doing the show. Hopefully in October, November, we'll start the Sunday video shows back up and do some stuff like that. You know, I think we'll do some like this, maybe on Zoom or something that we put up. And maybe you can go out and take some video footage of, you know, the area you live in and stuff, and I'll do the same, and we'll just go right on.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. That'd be fun.
Thank you.
All right, we got Reed writing in. Hello, HTCBG. I'm seeking information on the papers that Goose got sent to him a few months back in reference to the plans to build a moon base. I believe he said they were from the late 50s or early 60s. I've been meaning to ask this for a while, but just now getting around to it. Any information is much appreciated. Roswell.
Those were from the, I think it was 1959 or 58 or 59. And I did email those back to Reed, the link. And those are still fascinating. We may have to pull those out again, and I'll have to get your opinion on some of those.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Lori from the UK says, hello, it's been a while. I'm really liking the new shows. Why doesn't Dirty Dan have an accent similar to yours, Goose? I'm also listening to the radio shows on the apps. Well, it's very simple. He's not from the area that I'm from originally. He is a transplant, but we're happy to have him. And,
Lori, I actually come from a place not too far from you. I was born in Germany.
So, one of Lori's first letters or emails when she first wrote in, and I would have to, and I think I've still got it saved. She said that once she got past the accent, she actually enjoyed the show. But getting past the accent at first, especially somebody from the United Kingdom, was a little bit rough on her. So thank you very much, Lori. And the simple fact was he was born in Germany and grew up and traveled all over, and he just don't have the down-home country Bill Clinton-esque
coal miner accent.
There you go.
We got Samantha writing in. Hello, everyone. Samantha, a.k.a. Sam here. I'd like to hear you guys and Gal do a segment on Stonehenge. I'm also loving the fact that you have a woman on the show on a regular basis. It's great to hear a female point of view. Roswell.
Thank you very much, Samantha, for writing in. I'm not really, man, I hope I didn't just screech there.
You did a little bit. It's all right.
I did a little bit. I was taking a sip of Dr. Pepper. Sorry about that.
That voice crack.
I'm 14. I'm not really dug into Stonehenge a lot. How about you?
Just recently, I started to dig into it more, basically because of Ancient Aliens.
I'm going to have. What's some of your opinions on Ancient Aliens?
I love that series.
Or not Ancient Aliens, but Stonehenge. I also love Ancient Aliens.
I believe Stonehenge falls in line with all the other great structures and mega monoliths and whatnot, that it didn't come from us.
Well, we want to thank all of our listeners for emailing in. You can always call, text, or leave a voicemail. Keep it clean, and we'll play it on the radio at 606-373-3396. That's 606-373-3396. Or they can email. How can they do that, Dirty Dan?
Oh, they can email us at goose@heretochewbubblegum.com. You can email Dirty Dan at heretochewbubblegum.com. You can email Rebecca at heretochewbubblegum.com. Or you can email Pupnet or Elliot at heretochewbubblegum@yahoo.com.
And thank you very much. We're going to move right along to segment 1, and we're going to open up with some announcements in segment 1. Is there an ice cream truck going by you?
There is an ice cream truck going down the road, and I'm struggling to not grab my wallet here, Jason.
That is what I thought. Let's see. Midlife Crisis has a new album coming out on September 10th. It's available on CD, USB stick, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, and more. And the name of the album is Have a Little Faith. Be sure to pick that up when it comes out. And if you see those guys at any local festivals coming up, be sure to say hello to Carlin, Tim, and the rest of the gang. Well, on Friday, August 20th, Kentucky native and legend passed away. I'm talking about Tom T. Hall. He passed away at the age 85 in Franklin, Tennessee. He was nicknamed the Storyteller and was an American country music singer and songwriter. And he was also a short story author. He wrote 12 number one songs, with 26 that reached the top 10, including the number one international crossover hit, Harper Valley PTA. We send our condolences out to Kentucky native Tom T. Hall's family. Did you ever get into Tom T. Hall?
I have a couple Tom T. Hall songs.
I do too. My grandmother used to have some 45 records of his. Also, from Mothman.com, the 2021 Mothman Festival has been canceled for this year. Due to local public health and city official concerns with COVID, and they're hoping that 2022 is a better year. And do you know what happened on Saturday, my friend? You know what passed by our planet?
A giant asteroid.
Yes, it did. It had whizzed by the asteroid.
4,200 feet, right?
Yes. The asteroid... let's see, 2016 AJ193 flew past the Earth at a velocity of 58,000 miles an hour. The next time that it will pass Earth will be August 19th, 2080.
58,000 miles an hour.
Yes, that's just a little fast, That's
freaking fast, man.
So, oh, yes, it is. And we also have some new listeners to our podcast show. From Panama, yes, they're from Panama. So now this brings our
Panama City, Panama.
Just Panama is all it says on the
country.
Yes. So now people that on the planet that listen or have listened to Here to Chew Bubblegum, United States, Canada, Australia, Finland, United Kingdom, Germany, New Zealand, Ireland, India, Israel, the Philippines, Singapore, Nigeria, Indonesia, France, Norway, South Africa, Poland, Brazil, and now Panama. Hopefully, the listeners from Panama, please write in and let us know what you think about the show. And you can also listen to our show on this station or the app of the station, or you can listen to the podcast show on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcast, and anywhere you find top quality podcast programming. And
as well as HereToChewBubblegum.com.
Yes, as well as HereToChewBubblegum.com. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a moment to talk about JFK and some other conspiracies. And what are you going to be talking about, Dirty Dan?
The tallest man in the U.S. has passed away, sadly.
Oh, well, I hate to hear that. You're listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum, and we'll be back in just a moment.
You can always call, text, or leave a voicemail for Here to Chew Bubblegum at 606-373-3396. You can also send an email to goose@heretochewbubblegum.com, Dirty Dan at heretochewbubblegum.com, or Pup, Ned, or Elliot at heretochewbubblegum@yahoo.com.
Are you a horror movie fan? Yeah, I dig horror movies. Are you searching for a great internet horror talk radio show to listen to? Why, sure, that sounds quite spiffy. Then you need to tune into deadpit.com. It's the original horror talk radio show. Dead Pit is a show by the fans and for the fans. Uncensored and unbiased opinions are the goal of the show, giving fans honest reviews on new films and vintage classics of the horror genre. Make deadpit.com your #1 horror station destination.
When you want fresh, authentic Mexican food, you want El Picante in Coal Run. Dine on sizzling hot fajitas, the freshest pico de gallo, or if you're craving their secret ingredient jalapeno dip, the only place you'll find it is El Picante. Look, there are Mexican restaurants on every corner. The difference is in the mouth-watering food and the great service you'll get at El Picante in Coal Run. Visit El Picante for lunch today.
take a lighter look into the darker side of the world. Join Elliot, Gertie, and Beagle as they jump into the dark abyss of hauntings, fables, UFOs, and beyond. The Spooky Family Podcast. You can find them where you listen to quality podcasts.
Welcome back to Here to Chew Bubblegum.
Hello, we're back.
You almost squeaked again there, Goose.
I did not. Man, it's been a long day.
I know puberty's a heck of a thing.
Yes, it is. Oh,
well, unfortunately, I've got some news that's a little sadder. However, I think it's something that pretty much everyone has looked up to, and that's Igor Vovkovinsky, who is the tallest man in the U.S., has passed away. Igor Vovkovinsky, the tallest man in the United States, has passed away in Minnesota. He was 38. His family said Vovkovinsky died of a heart disease on Friday at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester. His mother, Svetlana Vovkovinsky, an intensive care unit nurse at the Mayo Clinic, initially posted about his death on Facebook. Vovkovinsky was born in Ukraine and came to the Mayo Clinic in 1989 as a child seeking treatment. A tumor pressing against his pituitary gland caused it to secrete abnormal levels of growth hormone. He grew to become the tallest man in the U.S. at 7 feet 8.33 inches and ended up staying in Rochester. His older brother, Ola Leiden of Brooklyn Park, told the Star Tribune of Minneapolis that Vovkovinsky was a celebrity when he arrived from the Ukraine because of his size and the flickering Cold War of the late 1980s. But Leiden said Vovkovinsky would rather have lived a normal life than be known. Vovkovinsky appeared on the Dr. Oz show and was called out by President Barack Obama during a campaign rally in 2009, when the president noticed him near the stage wearing a t-shirt that read, "World's Biggest Obama Supporter." In 2013, he carried the Ukrainian contestant onto the stage to perform the Eurovision Song Contest. When he was 27, Vovkovinsky traveled to New York City and was declared America's tallest living person by Guinness World Records adjudicator on Oz's show. He edged out a sheriff's deputy in Virginia by 1/3 of an inch. He issued a plea in 2012 to cover the estimated $16,000 cost for specially made shoes that wouldn't cause him crippling pain. At the time, he said he hadn't owned a pair for years that fit his size 26, 10E feet. Wow.
That's big
Thousands.
shoes. Big shoes.
No, I wear an 18. I feel for this guy. Thousands donated more than double what he needed. A team of 10 Reebok designers used laser technology and molds to custom make 3 pairs of shoes for Vovkovinsky, CBS Minnesota reported. "Now that I've seen them, I'm overwhelmed," he told the station in 2012. Vovkovinsky was born September 8th, 1982, in Bar, Ukraine, to Vovkovinska and Oleksandr Leiden, according to Ralph Friends and Vine Funeral Home, which is holding a memorial service on Saturday. His father died earlier. Vovkovinsky appeared in the 2011 film Hall Pass in a scene with star Jason Sudeikis, and on stage at the 2013 Eurovision Song Contest, CBS Minnesota reported.
Well, that's very sad. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his family. So he wasn't a basketball player.
No, but good Lord, 26.
Yeah.
That's 8 sizes bigger.
Yeah, you really wear a size 18.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, and you don't have to share this if you don't want to, how much do you pay for like a pair of just tennis shoes?
About $500.
Really? What about work boots?
You don't want to know.
$500 for a pair of shoes.
See, I'm also flat-footed, and my feet are narrow. So, I just struck 1,000% when I got picked for my feet. It was right. It's not good. No, it's not good.
Where do you get your socks at?
Duluth Trading Post, actually.
Okay. Do you order big tall guy socks or?
No, I get their compression socks. They're XXL compression socks because they stretch so much. So
now, do you pull them up past your knees or to your knees or?
They don't go that high.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, we're going to move on and talk
I'm
about.
about to where my calf starts. That's about it.
We're going to talk about some conspiracy theories, and some of these we have mentioned on the show before. Some of them we've not. I think that we did talk about this first one, Elvis Presley.
He's still alive.
Really? Now, do you think that he's the preacher from Arkansas, Bob Joyce?
I do not think he's Bob Joyce. I used to, but I do not anymore.
Okay. Well, what changed your mind? Was it me talking about the big age difference, or now? I will give Bob Joyce credit. Him and Elvis Presley do have a lot of similarities, feature-wise, and voice-wise, and singing-wise. It really does kind of sound like the same person.
I think he's more of an Elvis Jr.
I've never thought about that. I don't think anybody has looked into that conspiracy.
And you were the reason why I switched that.
So, because there's I think over 20 plus years difference between him and Elvis Presley. But,
Yep.
when they sing, they do sound identical. But just the age thing is what got it for me. And if you've never heard of Bob Joyce, anybody in our listening audience, just look him up on YouTube. Just search in Bob Joyce Elvis, and you will be able to find lots of videos and information on why people think he is Elvis Presley. That is a very good thought, though, my friend, about him being Elvis Jr.
Yep.
So I'd never thought that.
That is where I went with it.
What about Katy Perry? Have you heard about the one about her, who they say she really is? Well, some people are claiming that Katy Perry is actually JonBenet Ramsey, and that the incident never happened, and that seriously, and that Katy Perry is or was JonBenet Ramsey. And now, get this little tidbit of information, which this does not make any sense to me. They say that if you look at the pictures, that their eyebrows are the exact same. And some people are claiming that your eyebrows do not change from the time you're, little until, all through life.
Okay, so what happens when you go to get your face done and they do your eyebrows and whatnot?
I have no idea, but they were talking about the structure and so forth. But I actually laughed out loud when I heard that one. I don't buy that one either. I do not buy that one either. JFK Jr. And I know you know my theory on JFK Jr. We talked about that one on the show, but we talked about that one in depth, and I'll try not to go too in depth. But the theory on JFK Jr. is that prior to him taking off, let's say if it was a Friday or whatever he was supposed to take off, him or some of his handlers or bodyguards, they were at the airport and they noticed something suspicious underneath his plane. Well, they do some checking and they find out that it is a bomb that is programmed to go off at a high altitude. So him or his people come up with this plan, and they get a pilot from the Air Force to actually take the plane up. And before the pilot reaches the destination or the height where the bomb will go off, he plays an SOS of JFK Jr. over the radio that he had recorded on a tape player. After he does that, he then parachutes out of the plane, and when he's safe enough away, they rigged up a device that would blow the plane up to make it appear like, it did work. Now, people claim that this could be true because his body they were buried at sea.
Yeah, rush autopsies.
Buried at sea, and he was word was that he was going to run for senator in New York. If this hadn't happened, guess who he would have been running against?
HRC.
Yep, Hillary Rodham Clinton. So, this one kind of holds water because it is possible. Yeah, it does sound like a movie plot from James Bond, but I do think that this one could be very possible. Well,
I know when we talked about that on the podcast, that Well, excuse me.
And I gave you a very quick version there.
I agreed on that, but I played devil's advocate based on some substance issues he had going on that he might not still be alive today, but he could have been alive then. Yes.
Right. Well, you know, I mean, out of Elvis Presley and Katy Perry, so far I find that one very believable.
That's definitely the most believable.
Now, his father is surrounded in conspiracy theories, JFK.
6 people in the car.
Yes. And, you know, I want to read something real quick and then get your feedback on it.
Okay.
And this is in reference to JFK. Project Blue Book was a government operation supposedly investigated UFOs from 1952 to 1969. And its results certainly didn't lend credence to the possibility of alien visitors. The group, led by Air Force General, and remember this name, Charles Cabell, and astronomer J. Allen Hynek, found reasons to dismiss an overwhelming number of reported sightings, often with rather dubious explanations, such as the witnesses saw military flares from miles away. Apparently, these were the type of military flares that quickly change direction and elevation at will. If their questionable explanations weren't enough to cause doubt, a bit more research on these two individuals brings a lot of questions. Okay, Charles Cabell was later forced by President John F. Kennedy to resign his post following the Bay of Pigs fiasco. Less than a year later, Cabell's brother, Earl, was mayor in Dallas when JFK was assassinated and reportedly played a role in making the late change to the motorcade, which took them through Daley Plaza. What's your thoughts on that? Did you ever know that the same guy that...
I did not know that.
I didn't either until here recently. And, you know, to me, that's just big red flags up. You know, you've got a general that was relieved of his post, and then his brother is mayor of the town that you're visiting, and that is one of the guys that's influential in changing the route around. Now, there's also a memo, and the story of the memo combines UFOs cover-up with the assassination of John F. Kennedy, and this is a gold mine for conspiracy theorists. William Lester says he uncovered the memo while doing research for a book based on Kennedy, a memo written by JFK and addressed to the CIA in which the president requests confidential information about UFOs. The top-secret memo supposedly written on November 12, 1963. In the memo, the president ordered the CIA director to organize the agency's intelligence files relating to UFOs and to debrief him on all unknowns the following February. 10 days later, Kennedy was assassinated. So he sent out a thing demanding to know all about, and in that report it says unknowns. It was in quotation marks.
I feel like with JFK that the more information that is apparently found out or brought to light, that it gets harder and harder and harder to disprove conspiracies with him, whereas it's the opposite for 98% of the other stuff.
You know, and that's the same feeling that I get. It seems like the more that you dig, the more there is to find.
Yeah, the more there is to find, that only makes it more tangible or plausible or likely, as opposed to you look up anything else and it gets harder and harder to believe it. It's easier and easier to believe with JFK.
Oh yeah, definitely, and I totally agree with you there. You know,
and I don't know if I like that or not.
You don't know if you like that?
If it is true, then there yeah.
Oh, well, we were talking the other day about the first interview with Luke Fugit that we had on the show, and that was October of last year, and we've not had Luke back on since, but we are going to have him back on really soon. I actually pulled that interview, and I think it's just been played one time. It's never been played on the radio. We're going to take a break and then go to the Luke Fugit interview. And again, this was recorded October 2020. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the moon, maybe modern technology. And what do you have for us, Dirty Dan?
You're just going to have to wait and find out.
Oh, okay. You're going to surprise us.
I am.
What are we listening to?
You are listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum.
And we'll be back in just a moment. Hey everyone, this is Goose from Here to Chew Bubblegum. I want to tell you about my friend T-Shirt Joe at FastCustomShirts.com. T-Shirt Joe is your go-to guy for all your custom work. Also, you can check out their website and find artist originals, college shirts, comics, famous folk, fetish, military, movie shirts, occupations, podcast and website shirts, plus he has face masks and many other items over at FastCustomShirts.com. While there at their website, you can sign up for their newsletter. Or you can give Joe a call at area code 361-814-9212. That's 361-814-9212 to contact my friend T-Shirt Joe at FastCustomShirts.com.
When you want fresh, authentic Mexican food, you want El Picante in Coal Run. Dine on sizzling hot fajitas, the freshest pico de gallo, or if you're craving their secret ingredient jalapeno dip, the only place you'll find it is El Picante. Look, there are Mexican restaurants on every corner. The difference is in the mouth-watering food and the great service you'll get at El Picante in Coal Run. Visit El Picante for lunch today.
Welcome back to HereToChewBubblegum.com. I'm your host, Goose, and with me is Luke Fugit. I've known Luke Fugit since we were in elementary school together. We went to separate high schools, but, you know, we always kept in touch, and we've been friends ever since we were little. In 1990 or 91, Luke, if he'd only patented this idea, he built an automatic restart for his pickup truck. It was a remote start, and he built this in 1990 or 91. And I was always fascinated by that. Luke is one of the smartest guys that I've ever met. After high school, he joined the military, and he proudly served our country, and we're very grateful for that. Ladies and gentlemen of HereToChewBubblegum.com, I present Luke Fugit. Luke, welcome to the show.
Oh, well, thank you. Glad to be here.
We are very glad to have you. You are our first guest. Our midweek show got an overwhelming feedback, and I'll be honest, I really didn't expect that. But you're our first guest, and thank you very much for agreeing to be on the show. One of the things that I didn't know about you until a few months ago is that you have a YouTube page.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you want to, give us the URL or tell us how to find your YouTube page.
It's just Luke Fugit at Luke Fugit at YouTube.com. Just that takes you straight to it.
Well, I am very glad that Luke's a personal friend of mine. He's a YouTube rising star and inventor. And sometimes when I can't sleep of a night, I end up watching these Indian guys use these sticks and build pools and stuff like that. But one night I was on YouTube and just looking around, and I found your channel, and I think it was one of your solar panel projects that caught my attention. Actually, not the project, but who was hosting the show, and that was you. And I'm like, I know that guy. And that first night, I think I spent probably an hour watching some of your videos. So I probably that. Well, you're very welcome. I was probably late for work, so my boss probably don't appreciate that too much that I found your channel. But one of the things that I was really fascinated by is how you took please jump in if I'm wrong, how you took an alternator and hooked it up to running water from a creek, and you were producing your own electricity with it. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, it's just actually, I kind of learned some of that from YouTube, just kind of looking on there. And, I mean, people have done it, but they use real expensive equipment, and it, runs into the thousands of dollars for the stuff that they do. So I wanted to see if I could do it cheaply and just with stuff I had laying around.
Well, you were able to, in just that one video. I was fascinated in some of your other videos. And I was just amazed, and I've always knew you're smart, you know, and, you know, I have told people, I think I even said on the midweek show, if there's anybody that could build a time machine, it would be you. We'll get to that in just a minute, but for years, for those of you that don't know, probably for the last 10 to 12 years, I've always aggravated Luke and told him to build us a time machine. We would go back in time. Luke, how did you get started in making YouTube videos? What was your motivation for making videos?
I think it was just, you know, I've always built stuff and, you know, did experiments, and it just kind of gives me a creative outlet that I can do this kind of stuff and actually have feedback, because I get comments, and actually one of the main reasons I even do YouTube is for that comment that says, "Thank you so much, you helped me out with this." I love that because, well, I like helping people, you know.
Right. And that, you know, that's obvious because you were in the military, you know. And just some of your other videos I've seen are wind turbines, like I said, solar panels. They're how-to videos, how to change a flat tire without a jack. I mean, how did you think of coming up with that, how to change a flat tire without a car jack? Have you found yourself in that situation?
I did, and that was the only way that I was able to get home without destroying my rim. I kind of run it off the side of the road a little bit, and back tire popped right straight up, so there I went.
Where do you come up with your ideas for what you want to video and document?
A lot of it is just things that kind of just come about in my life, you know. A project I'm working on right now is a device to make, I work in traffic control, and it's a device to make myself and the work crew safer by having an early warning system in case there's a work zone intrusion.
Well, that's fact. I'm sure you're not going to post that right now. You're going to not do what you did when you were in high school. You want to patent this thing first, correct?
Right. I'm going to at least get a provisional patent on it before I actually release any details.
Well, good. What's your favorite part of making the YouTube videos? What's the process that you use to make the videos?
Oh, I guess I just start working on stuff and filming different angles, and actually the process of filming kind of makes me do things, I don't know, I was always bad for like taking bad shortcuts and stuff, and now that I actually have an audience, I try to do things to where they actually work a little better, maybe in case somebody else wants to try it. I don't want them to do something and it not work out, you know, so I guess it actually makes me more, make better inventions, I guess.
Well, good, great. Now, you know, you are on Here to Chew Bubblegum, and our first show, we've talked about two UFO cases that took place here in Kentucky. Now, I'm going to ask you some UFO questions, okay? And I assume that when you were in the military, you signed a non-disclosure form. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Without breaking that or giving anything away, have you ever saw an alien?
An alien? I haven't actually saw it. Alien?
Okay. Have you ever saw an unidentified flying object?
Yeah.
What did you see?
Like lights and stuff like that, you know, just...
Now, was
was
this when you were, like, on a military base, or is this after you got out of the military?
Actually, after I got out is when I saw some stuff in there, but, it's like I said, really, there's stuff I can't really talk about.
Right.
But after I've gotten out of the military, I actually have seen lights and stuff like that, it's kind of like, it's not a satellite, because a satellite follows a straight orbit around. Couldn't be an airplane, and, because airplanes don't maneuver like that. And, so it has to be, some other type of vehicle,
Right. Well, do you believe that other life forms exist?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. And, you said you couldn't say anything to break your non-disclosure form. But is the government technology farther advanced than what people think it is?
Some of the stuff that I seen when I was in there was pretty advanced.
Okay. All right. With the recent videos, going back to April when the U.S. government disclosed that there's, when they showed different videos and they said, these are not man-made. Do you think that the government is preparing us to disclose information, or do you think that will ever happen?
I think if there is anything to disclose, I don't think it will be disclosed by the government. I think it would. The only way that they would actually admit it would be if they had no other choice, some sort of like irrefutable evidence that was seen by so many people that they can't refuse it.
Okay. Well, why do you think the government waited so long? I mean, one video was like almost 17 years old when they put it out. Why do you think that some people have said, it was to get us away from the coronavirus and, calm people who had problems in urban cities and stuff. Do you think that was a reason they were trying to distract us, or do you think that they're just really trying to be honest and say, here's some video, we have something, we've had it for 17 years, we have no idea what it is?
I wouldn't really know.
You can plead the fifth on that. All right, let me ask you something easy. All right, do you think that aliens have been on this planet since 1947? I mean, do you think that it's possible? And an example of this would be like going back just a little bit, a few questions. We talked about modern technology. It had to come from somewhere. Do you think that it came from some species or someone that is not of this planet?
That is
You can plead the fifth on that one too if you want to.
Well, see, I really don't know, but it does seem like our technology has advanced pretty quick, and it's like advancing at an accelerating rate. And I mean, some of the stuff that I do, like with electronics, I don't see how they make the leap from one advancement to the next. I don't know.
I'm right there with you. I mean, you look back, 20 years ago, in the 1990s, you had dial-up internet, it took us a long time for us to get dial-up internet. But, look at how stuff fast is now. We're kind of at the point where any information you want is right at your fingertips. I think that is a good thing. There's some other technology in like medical fields and stuff that I think that could advance us further, but there's government restrictions and so forth that you can't do that. And to me, I'm just mesmerized and fascinated by all this stuff.
Yeah, there have been some leaps and bounds in technology, and it had to come from somewhere.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. Have you ever been to Roswell by any chance?
You kind of broke up there. What was that?
Have you ever been to Roswell, New Mexico, by any chance?
No, I haven't. I would like to visit there, though. I know you can't get right close to it, but I would like to.
No, well, me and my son drove out there last year. We landed in Dallas and rented a car and drove out. And I was just mesmerized by the hotel. It was just, we were doing typical tourist stuff, went to the little alien museum, and I was just totally mesmerized. And we actually went to the Air Force Base where, the material was allegedly taken to first. And if you ever get that chance, I know you like to travel because, ladies and gentlemen, this guy took an old school bus and turned it into a really nice motorhome. And he features it on his YouTube channel. And you've named it Zephyr. correct?
Yeah, right.
All right. And you need to check those videos out. If you could visit any planet, what would it be and why?
Oh, any planet?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. There's so many. I mean, inside of our own solar system, I would really like to check out Europa. Or, I mean, I know it's not a planet, but
right,
another body. You know, because there's possibility of an ocean under the surface. And, you know, I mean, I'm thinking that years ago, maybe Mars might have actually been able to sustain life, so possibly Mars, but there's not much to see on Mars right now, I guess.
No. Well, you know, go ahead and plug your YouTube channel again. And then I want to present you with a challenge.
Okay. Well,
okay.
Well, my channel, like I said, is Luke Fugit. I guess you'd call me a maker or an inventor or tinkerer. I just like to play around with stuff, and sometimes I get lucky and it works out.
What videos can we expect you to post next?
Well, with work right now, I'm still kind of busy, but I did put one up. Actually, it uploaded this morning. It's just kind of showing the fall colors, and there's a building up the holler that it's actually like a hunting blind, and I'm trying to see if anybody would like to see me maybe, either do an overnight camping video there or maybe make it into some sort of a getaway cabin or something like that.
Well, I'm definitely going to check that out. Okay. Now, this next part, and I can send you the instructions. I will read them for the sake of the show when we're doing an audio interview, but I can send you these. But I want to challenge you to come back on our show, and what I'm going to challenge you with is this. It might sound a little bit crazy at first, but if there's anybody that can do it, I know it's you. Earlier in the interview, you even mentioned technology and the way that you work in electronics and stuff. So this should be right up your alley. And I would like to challenge you to try to build a radio that you can intercept future radio signals from. Okay, so basically, you've heard of the chronovisor, the TV that's supposed to give, you can watch history or future events. I would like to challenge you to build a radio that picks up future radio signals. Okay, how it works, the future radio signals are constantly being emitted into the present because of the vast amount of energy around radio signals. They're broadcast from a transmitter on a frequency for your car radio to receive it. So by building a solar receiver, you can do this. If a power source, you got to have a coil. You can cancel out the electromagnetic field from the power source. Let's see. And a lot of this stuff I'm reading over my head. Like I said, I will text you this. They say that if you do this, then you cancel out the electric field from the power source and cancel out the magnetic field in the receiver. You should be able to receive radio signals by tuning the receiver on different frequencies to find the right one where you can pick up the future. Now, how far away? That's to be determined by you. Some people claim online that they've been able to do this and they can hear 3 weeks into the future. I don't know if that's true. Some people claim 2 months. Would you be interested in that challenge and trying to make and create something like that? And I can send you some specs that I have on it.
Well, I'm always eager to learn new stuff. So I mean. Did
that? Were you holding your laughter in as I was telling you about it?
Actually, I've kind of heard of some of that. I don't know really how it would. I don't really know how it would actually receive the signal. I know that signals from the past would be easier.
Right.
Signals from the future, I have to do some research, but I mean, I'm willing to try.
To me, and because I know you, by me mentioning this, I can tell that you are intrigued by this because you're already mentioning the ones from the past would be easier, which by me knowing you leads me to believe you've already thought of a way to do that, probably before I finish even reading the story. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why this guy is one of the smartest guys I've ever met. One of my only regrets is that I didn't sit closer to him in elementary school on test days.
Wouldn't have done you much good. I didn't try very hard.
So that is something that you are intrigued about, and maybe you could work something up and, put it on your YouTube show and give us an interview and give us a shout out. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much once again, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking to Luke Fugit, YouTube how-to-doer, or YouTube star in my book, and inventor and personal friend of mine. Luke, thank you for your time, and I really look forward to sending you these specs. And I'll be impressed if you can build a radio that picks up the past, because then that means we just have to go forward and we can pick up the future. And if that happens, then lottery numbers, here we come, correct?
Exactly.
All right. Thank you very much for your time, Luke.
Oh, no problem.
Goose, Dirty Dan, and Pup. Give the guys a break. They're not that bright.
And welcome back to Here to Chew Bubblegum.
Oh, yes.
And Dirty Dan.
Yes, it is. Man, it's hard to believe that interview's been almost 1 year ago. Time flies. Time flies.
Especially when you're having fun.
And, during this time, it's I will admit it's been a few weeks since I've looked at Luke's YouTube page, but he has built an entire cabin off-grid. He has a chair in it that raises up and down. Honestly, it raises from the floor up to, it's just wild. I'll have to send you the link to his YouTube channel.
Yes, please do.
But he's very, very, very smart guy. Due to time restraints, I may save the moon story, so I will let you entertain us, my friend.
Well, Elon Musk has Tesla bots will hopefully be sent to work on Mars in inhospitable environments. Tesla CEO Elon Musk on Friday said the company's artificial intelligence bots may one day be able to work on Mars, a vision seemingly ripped from the pages of sci-fi novels. Musk on Thursday announced that the company was working on a Tesla bot with a human form that would co-opt some of the AI the company has developed for its electric vehicles. One of Musk's other companies, SpaceX, has been focused on returning humans to the moon, then heading to Mars. A Twitter user had asked Musk if the bots would be mass-produced and sent to the Red Planet as laborers. Hopefully, Musk replied. The tweet that Musk was replying to also said his bot project mirrored the efforts of a fictional scientist from Isaac Asimov's I, Robot books, a series that began publication in the 1950s. In those stories, humanoid robots work alongside humans. A Twitter user on Friday compared Musk with Lawrence Robertson, a character who co-founded U.S. Robotics and Mechanical Men, the fictional company that built humanoid robots. In I, Robot, Robertson said the idea was to accustom people to working with one humanoid robot, and once they realized the enormous potential, they would clamor for more. On Thursday, Musk said it has profound applications for the economy, and in the future, physical work will be a choice. Tesla said the bot would have cameras for eyes and would use its self-driving software to navigate its surroundings. The company also said it would have a new Dojo chip, a supercomputer focused on machine learning. Musk, in announcing the Tesla robots on Thursday, seemed to acknowledge concerns that the robots would turn violent, saying most people would be able to overpower the 125-pound bots. We're setting in it such that it is a mechanical level. At a physical level, you can run away from it and most likely overpower it, he said. The public's fear of AI robots turning violent was natural, Asimov wrote in I, Robot. One of his characters called the concern the Frankenstein complex. Far too many Hollywood movies portrayed them as unstoppable weapons that invariably turned upon their creators, Asimov wrote in the novel. Others panicked over the idea that the robots might replace humans in usefulness for jobs, perhaps even for procreation.
Do you, and that segues in nice to modern technology. Would you be afraid of a robot, like to work around the house or?
I'm 6.5 foot tall and 300 pounds. Absolutely not.
You're not going to be, me neither. I mean, you can always turn it off.
I would love a little extra help around here. I'm sure Rebecca would too.
But, like I said, that segues nicely into modern technology. Man, we've come a long way. I mean, it won't be long. I mean, if this does work, that you'll have robots serving you at McDonald's or any fast food
I'm just
place.
thinking of a personal standpoint. Like, you don't have to be uncomfortable buying a bidet and having water used. You can just have someone just whoop for you.
Well, yeah. See, now you're thinking way, way, way ahead. I don't know if I would let a robot do that.
I mean, think though, they got to have, it's got to be the best thing because they have the pressure sensors to know what touch is too hard or too soft.
The story on the moon, that's a really good story, and to do it justice, we will do that on next week's radio show.
Yeah, but, I gave you that perfect surprise segue into modern technology.
Oh, yes,
so
yes, you did. And as we were talking on the podcast episode, it would have been last week's when you listened to this show, just the FaceTime. I'm blown away with FaceTime because I knew in the 80s that was just around the corner. I mean, yeah, it was like 30-some years later, but, it's there. And I'm going to be honest, over the last year, I have used FaceTime more than I ever have before.
Yeah.
And it's starting to become a habit with me. I'd rather just FaceTime the person than call them.
Well, yeah, I mean, because I've always been the person I'd rather be face-to-face. But if I can't, I'll rather call them than text them.
Yeah.
But now you can get your face-to-face. It's just over a call.
Yeah. I mean, dude, if they had FaceTime around when I was a teenager, I would have been in a lot of trouble. All month long, we're talking about Adventures with Purpose. Tell us a little bit about that.
So, last night I actually I shared with you a video that my two worlds collided.
Yes.
Being the diesel mechanic and Adventures with Purpose. These guys are a group of amazing people who have taken their talents and connections to the highest degree of self-service to give back to those who need it the most. If you open up your YouTube app or youtube.com, go to search Adventures with Purpose, and you will come up with this page of guys who literally have quit their jobs before to go around the U.S. and solve cold case files or missing persons files. They are specialized sonar search and recovery divers. And all they do is volunteer their time and their resources and their connections to go around and try and help bring a little bit of closure to a person, a family, or a whole community. And if you like them, give them a thumbs up. Every little bit helps. If you want to contribute more or you want to buy something from them, go to Sam and Jared's website, adventureswithpurpose.com.
Very, very well said, my friend. I want to thank Carlin for all the voiceover work and to remind everyone that Midlife Crisis new album, Have a Little Faith, comes out September 10th. You can get the album on CD, USB stick, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, and more. Also, special thanks to the guys over at deadpit.com, CK, Uncle Bill, and the rest of the gang. Be sure to check out Down on the Holler with Jordan and Brad. Don't forget about Talk Junkie with our friend Justin Perkins and Seth's Daily Podcast. If you're into spooky stuff, ghost and paranormal, be sure to check out spookyfamilypodcast.com. And if you want to awaken more, check out Rebecca Short on TikTok. That'll do it for this week. We'll see you next week. And until then, so long for now.
Maybe I'm not leaving. Maybe I'm just going home.
Thanks for listening to Here to Chew Bubblegum. Tune in next time as we dive deeper into things the government doesn't want us to know.